Hey, what's up you guys? It's Jack, aka Summoner6, and today I have a special video for you. Not only is this my first ever video on YouTube, applause, applause, but this video is also going to help us all step up our Phoenix game. Yes, today I have a special video of TSM Subroza duo queued with TSM Wardell. It's going to be a Phoenix match for TSM Subroza on Split. And in this VOD review, we're going to go over how a pro player properly positions, plays pistol and eco rounds, and has great crosshair placement and flash usage in order to net them free kills. Are you guys excited? Let's jump in. Actually, one quick thing before we get into the VOD review. Make sure you absolutely obliterate the like button down below. Turn that thing blue for the YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this, as well as turn that notification bell on so that it rings you anytime that one of my videos goes live. Also, please comment down below anything you liked or disliked about the video, as well as any video suggestions that you have. I really take your feedback to heart, and I want to try to respond to as many comments that I can down below. So if you want to interact with me, if you want to tell me what you liked, you want to tell me what you disliked, or if you have any video suggestions that'll help improve the channel and the experience for you, leave them in the comments section down below. And with that, let's get into the video. So first off, credits to TSM Subroza. I got this VOD from his Twitch channel, so I'm going to link in the description the October 28th VOD that I got this from, as well as the timestamp of where the gameplay starts, in case you want to watch the entire game all the way through. Alright, so first, before we even get into the gameplay, let's take a look at team compositions. So for Subroza's team, Subroza is playing Phoenix, Wardell is playing Omen, and as you'll see, it's probably his first time. Then you also have Reyna, Killjoy, and Raze for that side. Then for the enemy team, you have a very similar composition, with Phoenix, Reyna, Killjoy, and Omen, and then the only difference is instead of Raze, you have Jet. Both these teams have multiple flashes, at least one person with a dash for executes, and smokes as well as a sentinel for defense. The biggest difference is, since Subroza's team is starting on attack and they have Raze, that's going to provide a lot of pressure with her ultimate and force people back into corners or to back off of sites, which is going to give them some free executes. And the biggest thing to think about for the enemy team on defense is the fact that they have Killjoy ultimate as well as Phoenix ultimate for really solid retakes. So for round 1 on the attacking side, we see that Subroza purchases a Ghost as well as one Flash, and then keeping pretty good crosshair pit placement, looking up the ramp and then back down. He then starts to engage the Killjoy, who then dips into L, as he calls it, which is elbow. He knows that he's back there, so he can approach this Killjoy trying to get the kill. Unfortunately, he gets picked off. Afterwards, it leaves it only up to Wardell, and, I mean, Wardell does Wardell things. Unfortunately, Wardell cannot clutch the round, but it was pretty close, and that 3k helps him out a lot economically. So now getting into round 2, this is an eco or a save round, and for Subroza, this is a perfect round for him to buy the Sheriff. He's someone who has pretty good aim, and aiming prowess as you will, and this time he's going to try something a little bit different. He's going to try to line up the shot like he did on the Killjoy, except the Killjoy swung wide. This time he's going to line it up for the Reyna right as she crosses into his view. Perfect. Now after that, he still has one flash, so he's going to be able to flash onto sight. Unfortunately, it goes wrong, and the Omen, hearing the snap, is able to then counter with his own flash and then spray from up close with the Stinger. After that, what he says is that you could counter flash with Omen flash, which is actually a really good strategy, so that the Omen doesn't see right in front of him and get some free kills. But unfortunately, that's not what happens. Let's move into round 3. Alright, so after pulling out a close win in round number 2, round number 3 starts, and what we're going to see is he's going to end up buying full flashes and full everything that he possibly can. The only problem is, paired with a Phantom, he only gets half armor, and we'll see why that's a problem a little bit later, but the economy wasn't really there for him to do it. After that, he's going to go with his team mid after buying and make sure to clear middle. He's going to flash male in order to be able to peek to see if there's anybody holding a close angle. And after doing that, the sound cue comes through and the Omen once again strikes. He's going to be able to round that corner after hearing the flash go off and anticipating not a second one. shoot Subroza with a bucky, which is very, very good at holding these close corners, both right around the corner up in B heaven, as well as swinging down onto stairs with its right click. As you can see, it does 138 damage, so if Subroza was able to have full armor, which unfortunately he wasn't able to, he would have survived and then been able to land a flick, since it does take quite a bit of time for the bucky to be able to shoot again, since it's a pump action shotgun. So now we're going to take a look at another round that goes the way of this team. This is round number 7, and as you can see, Subroza buys full on Phoenix this round. He's able to after ecoing before, and in this case, he's going to try to go ahead and, well, I mean, pass off the spike to somebody else, of course, because Phoenix is terrible with the spike. Give it to that Reyna, and then he's going to go B main, and then try to peek into this operator. Unfortunately, he gets tagged and sad face, but uses both his blaze and his hot hands to heal. It doubles his healing. Both of them heal him for about 50 each, so he gets all the way back up to full health and can re-execute this site. Now, he's going to go push into this, flashing through the smoke in order to blind anyone heaven. He's then able to kill someone heaven through the blind, and then when flashing, even though he flashes himself, the momentum of the flash goes around the corner still. And I'll actually show you an example of this on film right here. An example from Haven that actually takes advantage of the fact that flashes carry their momentum. So this is an example of a flash that carries its momentum forward in a good way. So as you can see, he flashes into the wall and it carries its momentum around as a pop flash that happens instantaneously in mid of Haven. So the second to last attack round we're going to go over is actually round 8, the round right after round 7. And even though it doesn't net them a win, I think this is a perfect execute out of a Phoenix onto a site. And at least Subroza will show you why. Basically, the first thing that he goes for is obviously a full buy, as well as going for ult orb here. He lets his team know that he's grabbing it, and then one of the reasons he does this is Phoenix ult is easily one of the best in the game. It provides really easy entry onto a site, even if it's heavily guarded. And on top of that, it's only 6 instead of 7 ult points to get, so it's one of the cheapest ults in the game by far. Now, he goes in, and unfortunately, he dies, but anytime a Phoenix ult works, you're going to get information. Now, he ults into the site, he flashes through to smoke to blind everyone, and then flashes heaven again after seeing Jet walk through his molly in elbow of B heaven. Now, the molly was there just to prevent people from pushing, and he repositions on site to get away from the Jet, who has a shotgun, since he heard and saw it before. Unfortunately, he gets cornered in his reposition, and while he's healing from the blaze and simultaneously blocking the sightline of the Killjoy simply tosses a molly on him in the corner, since she knows where he is. And that round nets in a loss, but it shows all the different repositionings that Subroza goes through, and as you can see, it took me that entire round to explain it. So, very complicated things, but ultimately, a very good execute. Alright, so the last attack round that we're going to look at here is round 10, which is the last win that they're able to get on the attacking side. Subroza is going to opt for a full buy with the Sheriff instead of a Phantom for that kill efficiency in terms of his credits. Again, the Sheriff costs 800 credits, but is a one tap to the head, 0 to 30 meters. And the call is to split A and mid. Now, Subroza is going to play A because his flashes are more useful and efficient at this point. They see the enemy Phoenix up close, both by his blaze wall as well as the flash, and they don't hear him running away, so they know that that's a free kill. Now they also then go in to execute the site, and when they do this, Subroza is making sure to watch screens and then focus all of his attention there, as well as throwing his molly so no one can push them. Now from here you'll see perfect usage of his flashes, 1 and 2, both around those 2 corners to net him a kill on whoever would be rotating through CT. Now, this is a perfect example of using your flashes to get kills. And this level of aggression out of Subroza is perfect because they've already taken site as well as ramps into heaven. So he knows that he should be able to push into the back and get whoever's rotating through CT, presumably safely. And that's how it does it. So the first round we're going to look at on defense is round 13, or the pistol round on defense. And we're going to see Subroza do his classic Subroza things. He's going to buy 1 flash as well as the ghost because, like I said, he has god tier aim. And with that, that means he's going to be able to one-tap and kill most of the combatants he's going to come up against. Now, what you're going to see here is he's going to play B main and push up for info, which is really safe to do on pistol rounds. In fact, this is the best time that you could push for info, is on pistol rounds, mainly because if it's unexpected, even if there are 2 or 3 people there, it's actually very unlikely that they're going to be able to kill him before he could run away and then reposition on site. But since he does this early push-up and gets the information that nobody is pushing B main, he starts to early rotate and play ropes. And when realizing his Killjoy is actually playing further back, he instead opts to play back site, which would enable people to drop off heaven and he could get free picks. Now, once he realizes everyone's pretty much dead except one person, he just grabs ult orb because, like I said before, Phoenix ult's OP. So next round we're going to look at is the eco round right afterwards, where Subroza is now going to buy a Spectre, full armor, and full utility. Basically, the reason why he does this is they just won last round, and they have a lot of momentum here, while also being behind in total rounds. So because they're behind in total rounds, they need to spend money here in order to ensure this round win, in order to continue their snowball forward to catching back up in terms of rounds. So what he does here is he flashes and holds his flash before shields go down so that it doesn't make any noise, flashes B main, and then when he sees that nobody is playing there and that almost everybody's dead, he tries to get orb, but unfortunately his team doesn't allow him to grab it. Moving right along here, the next round we're going to look at is actually round 15, which is where basically Subroza's not going to buy anything extra. He's going to play mid with his team and the Spectre. And it's very likely that the enemy team sends at least one person mid. So what he's going to do is he's going to snap flash and call for his Omen, Wardell, to flash mid with him. Now, since they line up the flashes pretty much perfectly, he's going to be able to get himself a kill mid and a ton of information. Now, one of the reasons why you do this instead of buying on this round is if you win this round, you have a huge economy boost. You're going to be able to buy for the next 2 rounds, even if you lose. And the second reason is if you're able to net yourself kills on this round, you can actually grab some of the rifles that the enemy team is likely to buy on this round and actually boost yourself up. And even if you lose that round, if you're able to save some of those rifles, you're still going to come out ahead in the economy. So playing this way actually enables them not only to win the round because of their flashes, but also come out super far ahead in terms of econ. Alright, so the next round we're going to look at is round 17. Now here Subroza is going to be playing B main again. He actually plays B main almost every single round of this series. And what he does here is he preps his flash again, plays the angle, and pretty much since he starts to hear and gets the information that the enemy team is pushing mid into heaven, what he does is he pretty much sits B main. He sets up a flank. And since no one has seen him play B main up until this point at all, no one has gone B main at all, after he's done grabbing this ult orb, all he has to do is hold this angle and wait for somebody to slow push into him. And eventually, that does happen. Since no one has seen him, no one is expecting him there, he plays an off angle and kills bomb. Once he kills bomb here, he then returns to get the player that's up in heaven and play off of his team after this flash. And after that flash, he then returns to bomb and camps it basically until somebody shows up. And at that point, the round is pretty much secured. Alright, so the second to last round we're going to look at here is round 19. Now, he's playing B main again, and he's been mixing it up every time. You know, Subroza has tried ulting through B main to get information. He's done plenty of flashes, snapping obviously before the shield, and also just peeks. This time he's going to try something different, and he's going to jiggle peek with his knife out in order to make sure that nobody is immediately holding it or peeking it with an operator. Once he notices that nobody is holding that angle, he's going to set up his crosshair and then basically quick peek and find an Omen there, be able to get that easy one-tap headshot and grab himself the ult orb. Now, since he knew that Omen was the lurker for his team, and since that peak was really late in the round, he's able to then go back and play CT. He heals up while he waits for the enemy team to figure out what site they want to execute on, and basically goes up to play B Heaven, kind of waits around to make sure that he's playing off information. He's ready to rotate whenever. Once he sees Reyna die over in A Heaven, he's going to rotate all the way back up to B, and this is where we're going to highlight one of the more nuanced things about flashes in the game. One of the things about flashes is flashes, in general, are better at clearing multiple angles from higher points on the map. So what he does right here is he'll flash to respond to Phoenix's flash in order to clear out multiple angles on site. Flashes are better at clearing close angles when you are down on the same plane as the other enemy. So in this case, since he wanted to figure out where the Phoenix was and catch him off guard, he wanted to throw it from heaven to clear out more angles. Alright, so the final round we're going to cover here is round 23 on defense. And now here, Subroza opts to buy the Vandal instead. The main reason for this is he's going to switch it up and play mid. He's been seen at B main 3 different times now, so he wants to play at a different angle. And he knows that multiple people have been playing mid on the attacking side many rounds in a row. And the Vandal is better at these longer sight lines, like mid and like B heaven. So that's the reasoning for the Vandal. Peeks mid to get information, doesn't see anybody, and actually his team calls out that they hear multiple people B main. He drops down to play ropes and then jerks to the left in order to stay out of Reyna flash. And now what he's going to do is something really cheeky. It is a double Phoenix flash. So the first flash is going through to peek with his teammate in order to get the first kill on the Reyna that they see. And then the second flash gets the bomb down. And at this point, the round is pretty easy. Basically, he just plays smoke to make sure that nobody actually gets the bomb. So he's tapping through the smoke around head level to make sure that nobody can actually push to get the bomb, and nobody knows whether or not he's going to fire at that point in time. The second thing that they hear is 2 middle. So since they know that the last 2 players are middle, he can just play an off angle right on top of Spike, since the Phoenix has no flashes. And he's playing with his Killjoy, who is holding both CT as well as the drop off from heaven, which they would have to do in order to come get bomb. So Killjoy gets the first pick onto one of the enemies, actually the Phoenix, and then the Omen flanks this Killjoy and gets the pick on her. Now all Subroza has to do is play an off angle, and once he dodges the flash, well, I'm sure you know the rest. So there you have it. That's my take on a Phoenix VOD review from TSM Subroza. If you liked the video and you want to support the channel and also help me with YouTube's algorithm, please leave a like down below. Turn that like button blue. And also, if you like this content or you want to see more of it, or you just want to be notified whenever I release a new video, please consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell. And last but not least, leave a comment down below. What did you like? What did you dislike? And do you have any video suggestions for me? I read all comments, try to respond to as many as I can, and I'd really like your suggestions so that I know what videos I can make specifically for you. Last but not least, if you want to interact with me live and also watch me play these games and gradually improve along with me at these competitive games like Valorant and League of Legends, I also stream most nights on Pacific Standard Time at twitch.tv/Summoner6. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter @Summoner6. Thank you very much, everyone, and stay 6y.